Welcome to JMR Talks. Today, under the heading of Inspiring People, we'll discuss about Vinesh Phogat. Now, who is this Vinesh Phogat? She is the first female wrestler for winning a gold at Asian Games and Commonwealth Games for India. She is the youngest of Phogat sisters, and going by her accomplishments at the Asian Games and the Commonwealth Games, definitely she is a role model to the youngsters to mold themselves. In fact, she is the first Indian athlete to be nominated for Laureus World Sports Award in 2019. This award is instituted by Laureus Sports Good Foundation, an organization which is involved in more than 150 charities activities. It's a global organization. They are giving these awards since 2000, and the award is given only to the outstanding sportsmen as such. Now, how this all started for Vinesh Phogat? As we all know, Vinesh Phogat is the daughter of wrestler Rajpal Phogat and niece of another wrestler Mahavir Singh Phogat. After her father expired, the single mother had difficulty in in bringing them up and all that. So both Vinesh Phogat and her sister, they were coached by Mahavir Singh Phogat. In fact, Vinesh was not that keen, but she was pushed very hard by uncle to do well in this wrestling as such. In fact, Mahavir Singh Phogat's wife used to complain that why you are pushing these girls into wrestling and all that, which is mostly used to be dominated by men. But Mahavir Singh persisted, and today we could see the results. Now, did she broke the stereotypes? Yes. She hails from Balali village, a typical old Haryana village and all that, where women are mostly confined to do household work. But she belongs to a family of wrestlers. Yes, there were objections, about her participation in wrestling and all that. But thanks to her Geeta Didi's success, villagers slowly they started appreciating, and as such she didn't had any problems as such. Now it was reported that Modi ji's inspiration help her to do well at the Commonwealth Games. Now let's look into that. Actually, what happened? In August 21, this girl has exited from the first round from the Tokyo Games as such. At that time, Modi ji took time to interact with all the athletes and Vinesh Phogat in particular. And the lines uttered by Modi ji is worth remembering. He told her is that जीत को सिर पे चलने मत देना और हार को दिल में बसाने मत देना. That means don't allow the wind to get into his head, and don't allow your lose to get into your heart. That means one should keep on trying, perseverance, etc., etc. Now, for instance, look at Abraham Lincoln. Despite so many problems, so many failures and all that, he always looked at them as if it's a slip between the lip and the cup, and continued to his efforts, and ultimately went on to become the president of USA. So while giving the pep talk, Modi ji also promised Vinesh Phogat that he would love to meet all her family members, and he kept her promise. He kept his promise, and the result, she won the gold at the Commonwealth Games 2022. So I keep telling my students that there is a lot of difference between inspiration and motivation. Inspiration is external, like what Modi ji has done for Vinesh Phogat. The motivation is Vinesh Phogat's the urge to do well, urge to excel and all that. So the managers, whenever they find that their associates are struggling with performance related problems, they should make them feel confident. They should inspire so that they get motivated to do their best. Yes, a moot question might arise as to, is it the first time Modi ji did this? Inspiring sportsmen? No. All of us heard about that Pooja Gehlot. She won bronze, and she was feeling very sorry that she could not win the gold. I mean, because if she wins what you call gold medal, probably national anthem would have been played and all that. Modi ji immediately responded to her what you call expression of apology and all that, and gave a what you call pep talk. See the words what you call Modi ji spoke. Pooja, your medal calls for celebrations, not an apology. Your life journey motivates us. Your success gladdens us. You are destined for great things ahead. Keep shining. In fact, this inspiring motivational gesture of Modi ji has been lauded by people across the world as such. In fact, one Pakistani media person, Shiraj Hassan, had the courage to what ask the rulers that look at what Modi ji has done. Are you people aware that how many Pakistani athletes are winning medals? The beauty is when you look at acts like this of Modi ji's, at least I am reminded, or I am rather what I call reminded of what I call my father. He's almost like what I call head of the family. Maybe that is intrinsic to his leadership style. The way he tried to what I call look after people during the what I call COVID times. So he tries to what I call take care of his people, despite being what I call so busy. What I call he took out some of his quality time to interact with his sportsmen who won what I call medals for the country and all that. The Indian wrestlers what I call contingent ended their 2022 Birmingham Commonwealth Games with all the 12 wrestlers earning medals. How did this happen? Because of the encouraging environment from Modi ji in particular and the establishment in general. There is a what I call important lesson for for all of us to what I call to take a note of that out of this. What is this? Especially for managers. Sometimes they are down. They may what I call lack confidence. They start what I call doubting what I call themselves. Now that is the stage when the managers what I call should intervene. When they have problems, acknowledge them and work through what I call solutions. When you communicate them, communicate in such a way that it boosts their morale and boosts their what I call confidence. Sometimes when they are not aware of their true worth, what I call make them aware of what I call their true worth. Now that after the COVID in the new normal, what we the managers what I call need to do is create a healthy work environment, an environment which takes care of mental and emotional well-being of the people. And once they what I call they do, they succeed in creating a healthy work environment where people's what I call morale will what I call gets boosted, their performance improves, it takes care of what I call retention. So hope the this girls what I call outstanding accomplishment and what I call the inspiration given by the Modi ji's what I call will inspire what I call other youngsters to do well in their times to come. Mera Bharat Mahan. Thank you.